And welcome to a special edition of our program on CGTN, China Travel with Chinese Films. I'm Tian Wei. Today I'm sitting here in Hengdian, which is also known as China's Hollywood. With the box office success during China's Spring Festival, many are looking at this place and all over China. The wonderful birthplace of films and also great potential of movie industry in the world. To talk about all of these wonderful topics, we are joined here by a great panel. Joining us from my very near left, Gianluca Zoppa, who is an actor and director, founder of Luca Asian Films, originally coming from Italy.
Yes,
good to see you.
Exactly, from Italy.
Also coming to our program today, Liu Song, a Chinese film director who co-founded the Click-Joy Entertainment and Northward Productions. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. And joining us, Caroline.
Hi.
Caroline Guo, General Manager of International Business Department of Hengdian World Studio. This is your home turf. Thank you so much.
Sure, welcome to Hengdian.
And last but not least, my longtime friend, Olivier Grandjean, who is the president of the Bridge of Francophonie in China. And he's a TV host, writer, and actor. Good to see you again.
I'm very happy. Good French speaking, dear Wei.
Oh, thank you so much. My French is improving. As the Chinese movies are making great record. You have all, I'm sure, watched some of the movies popular during China's Spring Festival season. Can you share with us what is your takeaway from the movie experiences?
Yeah, for me, Nizar was
Nizar 2.
Nizar 2 was an amazing movie. This movie make a history, and the director Zhao Cai is a director and writer, and he come from humble beginning. And this movie impressed me a lot because for animation, for the story, for the moral, for many things together.
Any character that you can relate to in the movie?
But I think the leading actor.
Oh,
yes, sure.
Interesting,
Yes, yes,
interesting.
yes,
Why
very
is that?
Because it's many things can this guy working very hard and has a strong belief, and this one is very similar.
Very independently
independent,
thinking.
yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about for you, Song?
Yeah, I saw Naja 2 as well as I think a lot of people as well. I think Naja 2 combines with technology and also the Chinese culture. I like the combination, and also I think this movie reached to a higher and a broader audience globally, not just for Chinese audience, but also for global audience as well. I think that's a big breakthrough for this Chinese movie industry.
Why do you think it's appealing to both sides?
I think it's a very compelling story, and also the story is very character-driven. First of all, I think it's a good subject. It's about love and the self-proving. So the story can relate to global audience. So secondly, I think the Chinese culture adds another layer, unique layer to the story. So that makes this animation film very particular, special.
I know Caroline have watched all the movies, so I wouldn't ask you about that question.
Yeah, it's a lot of
lot of movies you need to watch every day working
here.
here. Yes,
Sure.
right. Olivier, what about for you?
I'm very happy because I became an actor in China. You know, I am a kind man, and I love to play bad guys. And
So you watched some of the movies during the Spring Festival season?
Sometimes, but the big problem, I am a bad guy on this stage because I didn't see a lot of fantastic Chinese movie because they are not translated in French versions. What a pity, and I hope this thing will change soon. We need more and more translation. I also play voiceover for the French-speaking countries, Africa, etc., of Chinese movies.
I see you want to have more work to do.
Exactly, exactly. We must share and share.
But the question is not just the translation, it's also about release of these films in foreign markets.
Oh, yeah.
So it's both sides. Not only Chinese can promote these movies, but also the other side, whether they are welcoming these movies. Do you think there's space in French, for example?
Sure. There is a thing very important. The Chinese movies, like a lot of other industries, have made a lot of progress. And now the Chinese film industry is one of the best in the world because of the quality. And the variety of styles also.
Gianluca, what about in Italy?
Yeah, Italy it means to compare now the quality of the movie. Of course, Italy is very focused about drama movies, such kind of technology movie. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have also the kind of movie, but for sure, drama is the most, and real life story or something like that. And so it's different. But of course, here the market is developing and increased so much.
But
And
of course, you've been staying in China for a long time,
Yes.
right? So Le Jia Tu probably makes great sense to you. But do
Yeah.
you see your friends back at home, would also feel as close to the story as you do?
But, actually, I think when you're watching the movie, you have to be ready to understand different culture.
That's true.
Because otherwise it's no sense, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's if you are not ready for that, you cannot see and understand any movie. There's not the point what the movie come from. The point is that you are ready to learn to see something different,
Yeah.
to make a difference. That's the point.
That curiosity is
Yeah.
what we need to have before we enter the movie theater, isn't it?
Oh, for me, it's better if you can have a little preparation about what you're going
Yeah.
to see, and you can appreciate the movie more, especially the movies from another countries.
And so,
Yeah, I think for the movie, when it's more national, it's more global. It's
Really?
always it's always.
that's a slogan I know, but is it really?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's your biggest label or your biggest uniqueness for your film. And I watch a lot of movies, Hollywood movies and the Chinese movie. And me as a young film director, I really want to dive deep into my culture to make some more Chinese related films. Yeah, I think that can resonate with more audience.
That's for sure, because we have Le Jia Tu that is still very popular in the movie theater. At the same time, we do have some imported movies, for example, coming from Hollywood. I wouldn't mention the name just to respect, but the box office difference is huge. How do you see that as an interesting phenomenon?
Yeah, I think the box office for Chinese movie, there's no glass ceiling. Once we see how Le Jia Tu is doing in theater right now, I think that can be the future. The Chinese film can reach a bigger audience, not just in a domestic audience, but also for global audience as well.
It is actually shown in the United States as we speak.
Yes.
Yeah, and I heard some interesting, great stories about how the viewers are interacting with the content of the movie, especially Chinese Americans, because it's still a little bit cultural specific in a way. Talking about culture, we see a lot of movies and TV dramas being made in this place. Look at our backdrop, magnificent. And I was earlier, Caroline, touring other parts of Hengdian. For example, visiting the Qin Palace, where there were many blockbusters, Chinese ones being made based on history. We see this rising tide of Chinese history or stories related to it being made into movie and also TV series. Why do you think we're so fascinated about our history? Tell us more from a professional perspective.
Okay, I would say one sentence about Hengdian is the sentence is zero to hero. Zero to hero. Yeah, it's
Well,
really
congratulations,
Yes,
I need to say, once you say that.
Yeah,
Johnny
I'm
Moore.
gonna explain more.
Yeah, sure.
It reflects the Hengdian's journey from a small town to today's achievements. The Opium War was a turning point, transforming Hengdian into a global filmmaking hub. Over the years, Hengdian has not only kept history alive, but also developed it for modern audiences through cinema, tourism, and technology. Today, with over 2,000 film companies and over 500 productions annually, Hengdian is the world's most comprehensive film and culture base. by combining authentic historical setting with creative storytelling.
Yeah.
We bring China's rich past to life in a way that connects with the audiences, both domestic and abroad.
I'm sure your boss will be very happy after you said all of these.
It's our honor to work here. to be able to work here.
Right,
yeah.
but on the history, how come it's become such an important part of China's film and TV productions? Since when our curiosity has been really switching to history? Because there were a lot of modern dramas that were popular. I remember like 10 years ago, but now history has become almost an integral part of any success of a Chinese movie.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, of course. So talking about the movie, the Big Empire, the movie for
The Last Empire?
The Last Empire. Sorry, The Last Empire. That one is Bernardo Bertolucci. Yeah, this movie was
That's an
shot-
Italian
yeah, it's Italian
director?
Movie director. Yeah, that's shot in China. And then also another one can remind me so much is about the hero from Johnny Mo. Also this movie. Yeah.
Which was shot here, right?
So shot
Yeah,
here.
The hero,
in
Yeah.
Qin Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that movie was one of my favorite movies, and Zhang Yimou is one of my favorite director. He uses color, contract color, black and white, and many composition. And take advantage of the structure of the building, Asian building, to create a unique history in Qin Palace.
Sure.
Why do you think it is such a popular idea for movie producers and TV producers to make history part of the production?
Oh yeah, I think for Chinese audience, we love to see our history. We are very proud of our history. We have a long history. We want to see what happened in the past, and we want to relate the story to our present life. So I think that's a good combination. And also for global audience, they think it's very exotic and also relatable to them, because we are telling the story that's very compelling to them as well, because it's a story about love, about family, and maybe about betrayal. So they can really relate to. So I think those stories, first, they are good stories. Secondly, they combine with Chinese culture.
Just
The stories of the past of China are never-ending treasure to explore. And people in China, but in all the world, are in any ages, are very hungry of it. And I appreciate that more and more movies are based on that. It's always we discover every time stories we didn't know before, etc., etc. So it's a fantastic treasure, not totally explored. Really.
right.
Yeah.
You think about even the movies being shot here, The Emperor and the Assassin, 荆轲刺秦王.
Yeah.
Have you watched that movie? Yeah,
we
you did?
saw.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's quite old movie. Yeah.
Right? Did you like it?
Yeah, very much.
How come?
I think he also won a prize in the Cannes
Indeed,
film
yeah.
industry,
And-
film
Yeah.
festival.
And for you as a
Festival,
viewer, how
yeah.
come you like it so much?
Because that's why I come to work here.
Oh, really? Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is the key to the working in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the key point.
Okay.
And to meet your heroes of cinema. Madam, this morning I was walking with my friend Wei in this China wood, because it's China wood there.
Okay.
And I am just a little bit disappointed because I wanted to meet Jackie Chan, and where is him?
Yeah.
Sometimes he is walking there, I know, like every
he's
big stars.
Busy. He's busy.
He's busy.
If there's anything else
Okay,
there.
okay, so I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Next time maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But people coming there must can meet some big stars too. Yeah.
Including
Walking.
you. Including you, I
Oh,
guess.
So got the chances
Yeah,
to meet
all of
big
the
potatoes.
big stars,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure once they are in movies shot here, they are here.
Yeah. And people can also coming there can also see a technician working on a movie, etc. Sometimes.
For the technicians part, I think it's a little bit more strict.
Yeah, sure,
It's not
sure,
like the
because
tourism area.
We don't need, we
Sure.
don't know. Yeah, it's not It's not the mission to come there is not to disturb them in their work. Sure.
But you can still feel the atmosphere.
I didn't get the point of what you're trying to say, but anyway, our conversation goes on about some of the movies that are being shot here are absolutely impressive, but we also see new horizons rising, particularly when it comes to new technologies.哪吒 2, the cartoon movie, is just a reflection of that. I really wonder how do you see, as a young TV and movie producer, that has been becoming an integral part of China's movie industry today?
I think that's a good phenomenon. Chinese film industry has proved a lot. Compared to Hollywood production, we can compete with Hollywood at the moment. So the quality and also the storytelling is reached to a very high level. So I think Chinese movie has no glass ceilings at the moment.
In terms of technologies being used or production, post-production techniques, I'm sure as a movie producer you have your own take?
Yeah, I think in China we have a lot of post-production companies, so we can support like movie like哪吒 2 and also some other tech films. We have a lot of professional post-production crews and editors, sound designers to support our film industry. I think that's a good support for our film creative process.
Let's come back to the history part. I still have some questions for Caroline. You earlier talked about the history of the Opium War, which is the very first movie being shot here. And a street was built, if I understand right, about the time of China in Guangdong Province.
Guangzhou, Guangzhou Street.
That's resembling the scene of the late Qin-dynasty during the Opium War. And it was made by one of the most respected movie directors in China's modern history, Xie Jin. I understand since then this place has been really blossoming. You know, here adding a palace, there adding an avenue, right? And to host all kinds of movies. Tell us more about how it has evolved over the years, Caroline.
Okay, sure. So actually, Hengdian is not just about movie. It's an entire industry. More visitors mean more income for hotels, restaurants, and the local businesses. It's a win-win for both cultural and the economy. By connecting film and tourism, Hengdian creates broad economic impact, attracting more tourists and investment. And also we are creating a model for other regions to follow. As more international visitors arrive, the industry chain will continue to upgrade and globalize.
I see. You're focused a lot on the business part.
Sure.
Since you are moving to the business part, let's also talk a little bit about business part. We'll leave the history part a bit later. Hengdian is the birthplace for many Chinese film productions. But what about for independent film producers like you? Would you be able to afford, for example, to film here, to work here? What are some of the other options that you are tapping into? Do you think about future production cooperations with Caroline or with other, TV and movie making bases in China?
Actually, for my side, I can think, for sure, for a co-production will be very interesting for that. That's why I'm working for several new movies. I write movies, and I try to find the right co-producer to make this movie. And I believe here for sure is the best place. I mean, to find everything necessary for creating, for producing the best movie. Yes, that's why. So I keep working and believe about project here and developing.
Because I know Gianluca, with the short pre-interview we had earlier, that you have been producing one movie based on a Italian who has been living in China and served as the bridge between the two countries.
Yes.
And now you are working on some new stories, writing the synopsis and try to find funding for this independent film that you're trying to
Exactly.
do.
Exactly.
So what is it like for someone like you? Are there many like you in China who are coming from another culture, but certainly try to seek a potential and a future here in terms of movie production?
But actually, because from my side, I live here a long time, and I can understand the culture, and I want to mix. I want to show to the movie different culture, different point of culture. Of course, I'm from Italy. I try to promote my language together with the Chinese language, with the Cantonese language. So, and this is what I'm looking for, and I think it's amazing to believe there is opportunity to do that. I believe that. I mean, I'm sure is the time. Only now it's just the point is the time to find the right co-producer. But I believe this thing will happen here for sure.
How come you're so firm about that? Certain
Because
about that?
because story is very important in a movie. I believe the story is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Plus mix the culture, and plus give to the audience something they can see some part inside of the story. I believe that is the very important. So that's why I believe in my movie. in my
What
project.
parts of the story you want the audience to see, to understand it? And then you think once they get that, all your efforts are paid well.
Good people always win.
Yeah,
Always win.
that's a great
Doesn't
story.
matter
That's
where the
good,
people
yeah.
is come from. The good people has the power to win everything.
All right.
That
Nice.
is the
Yeah.
point.
I see the sincerity in your eyes when you
Yeah.
talk about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to have great luck.
Thank you.
And what about for you, Olivier?
Emotion about what you said.
We moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
What about for you? You're coming from France.
Yeah,
You
France
try
and
to be a
Switzerland.
professional here, also in the industry, doing different kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
And so, how do you see the potential of individuals like you working here, trying to seek a future?
Yeah, I think a lot of things are done, and more and more things must be done again, more and more. And as you said, we must share our culture, we must share our future, like we say in China. And what can I say more? It is the same thing in France, but we must compare this industry. French cinema industry is a very big cinema was born in France by Frère Lumière brother.
But we
It's
won more Oscar than you.
European brothers.
So Italy, France, and China and America too, they are very. It is in the DNA of the people, the cinema. It's very important. It's more than an industry. It's more than that. Sure, it's a big industry, but it's more than that.
What is the kind of DNA that you are looking for in the stories that you want to tell in your productions?
Yeah, how can I say that? Actually, in the present, I think with the curse of the world, it's very and more important to share our culture and our happiness and to share hopes by the cinema.
And
Yeah.
Song, for you,
There is
You're
sorry,
a
there is no
young-
frontier for that.
there is a you're a young, talented producer and also filmmaker. You graduated from a well-known university. You try to seek a job opportunity here. So what is it like to try to look for opportunity on your home turf? For someone like you who just started your career, what kinds of opportunities are you looking for? What is the DNA, do you think, in the story that you are willing to tell?
Oh yes, being as a Chinese filmmaker in China, and also I also worked in Hollywood before. I think China gives you the support to make the story you want to make. I want to make more stories more about my history, more
Like
about
what?
my hometown.
It's a great opportunity to tell everybody what you're working on.
Because I am from Urumqi, Xinjiang,
Yes.
it's the west of China. So it's very
Yes, yes.
unique place in
Yes,
China.
it
It's
is.
not in the center of China, it's in the west. So I have very unique story to tell.
Like?
I think young directors always want to tell a story about their childhood or family. Maybe I want to tell my childhood as well. I grew up in a military family. So my father is a military officer. So we have very special lifestyle. I mean, he was very strict to me when I was very little. I have no childhood. Like I have to study very hard. I mean, during
Your
my
dad might be watching also.
okay.
No, I'm just kidding, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But,
the family story,
yeah, family.
as a kid, growing
Yes.
up in China,
Yeah, like
especially unique to your generation.
yeah, unique to my generation, and also it's a story for my generation. It's a Chinese story. Yeah, I think that's very authentic to me and also to some audience.
That's why we call this place, in a way, China's Hollywood, but it's not Hollywood.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, for
it's
sure.
Many of the stories here are so Chinese, right? All the stories
Unique,
that actually you are
unique, yeah.
uniquely
Yeah,
Chinese.
Uniquely, yeah,
And
for sure.
also can be shared. All of the stories that you're talking about are related to China today. And all the history films, so-called, being produced here, actually the plots resonate with today's China and also the lives of ordinary people here in China.
And it's particularly important in the Chinese culture, the past, the present, and the future.
Sure.
Totally united. Yeah, and the new generation is growing in cinema industry. That's fantastic to see how many new young directors are working, are coming. It's not from. It's not an old industry and sleeping. Or no. The energy.
There's a lot of fresh air here. For
fantastic.
example, during the
Fresh
Spring
air.
Festival
Yeah.
holiday, we have seen all these 6 big names, the blockbusters. They are
Yeah.
almost all produced by producers coming from late 1970s, 80s, right? And even younger. So it's already some kinds of fresh air. Do you see the generational change?
Yeah, I think we see younger and younger directors and their works shown in the cinema. That's a good thing for our production because we're gonna have more opportunities to show our works to the people, the audience.
I am often invited in movie festivals as a jury, and I see every time the majority of people, of workers, are young. Yeah, that's fantastic to see that. Yeah.
A special festival is a good opportunity for younger
The film festivals.
young people to show with low budget, because the point, of course,
Yeah.
make a movie is expensive, but for sure festival give opportunity to have this creative
Sure.
part inside to show.
That's a
what
very
they want.
important
Yes,
part,
of
isn't
very
it?
important.
Yes,
The
for sure.
incubators
Yes.
to nurture
Sure.
the young talents.
Yes,
And the
exactly.
film festivals or different kinds of occasions to promote young directors.
Sure.
Yeah.
And not only young, of course. So
No.
I mean
Of course,
everybody
talented
has a-
ones.
Yeah, I mean,
We stay young.
Coming from all
Yes,
over
of
the
course, still young.
In this domain, we
Shoot in the
must stay
movie,
young.
make
I
people-
only see a competition of talents around this table, not about age.
no,
yes.
no,
So
no.
anyway,
No,
having
no,
said
no.
that, though, it's not just movies, but also TV series. Recently, the micro short TV series or
Also,
a series that you can see on mobile phones are becoming extremely popular.
yes, yes, exactly.
Earlier, Caroline,
Yeah.
I heard from you that there are many hours being produced, those kind of productions right here in Hengdian.
Yeah, especially for last year, as let me count, it's about 2,200 hours
Really?
in total.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that means
Wow, so many.
1,100 short dramas shoot here.
Yeah.
It must be very busy. So thank you for sharing at least this quiet corner of
pleasure.
Hengdian with us today.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Sure.
I know you, Song, participated earlier in some productions of micro drama. Tell us more. How is it, complement already existing movie and also TV series markets?
Oh yeah, I think mini short drama give us a new way for entertaining. We are not just watching movies. We can watch drama on our phone, and I think that's convenient. You can watch this 1 minute mini show anywhere, anywhere you go.
Sure.
Yeah, and also I was lucky enough to make a production in Hollywood because the Chinese mini drama was so popular, and some overseas audience start to watching Chinese mini drama. So
Yeah.
we start to make some localized mini drama in Hollywood and also in different languages that proved to be very popular.
What kind of stories?
It's mostly about love stories.
Yeah.
Yes,
Story,
of
every time.
course.
Yeah.
Mostly.
About-
Ask
About-
the Italian gentleman.
What I actually I didn't saw many of those mini series, but what I saw is most of that talking about a love story
Yeah.
or some how to say some anyway mostly the love story.
Okay.
Conspiracy,
Do you
yeah,
see that?
conspiracy. Someone talking about some
Conspiracy stories,
conspiracy,
yeah.
something like that. I have this word in my.
Do you see it's too much competition for you guys who are trying to do like extended, in-depth films?
Competition means I think everybody has some. I think competition is also life can make people
Yeah, yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
because you always want to do something better, but not because because it's in the human beings, this kind of characteristic. So try to make better, and of course you look in your neighbor garden and say, oh, have some news. What about me?
Yeah.
So
Same competition.
yeah, I think
is
it's
very
something good
important,
for an industry.
How
I mean,
attractive is it? Like a micro series for you or a movie for you?
Oh.
Which one more?
oh,
I
big question. Very big question.
It's a big
Very,
question.
very
Yes,
big question.
question.
Every producer and director have to make a
Oh.
choice sometimes.
Very big question.
Yeah, I think we want to see stories on big theater, big cinema, but we also like the convenience. We can watch the story anywhere.
Of
I
course.
mean, yeah.
I see you want to sit on the fence, right? You don't want to choose. Once the opportunities arise, I can go anywhere.
Yeah.
What about for you?
I think for me, for sure, market change because follow new generation. New generation. Now I have a daughter. She's 17, and so most of the time.
Hello to her.
Yeah. And she also like her classmate or same ages. They spend lots of time on the mobile. So even the parents try to, and so this mobile become everything for them. So
Yes.
of course, mini-series is something can make those new, new generation audience interesting to watching. So that's why. Of course, movie is also. Sometimes I heard my daughter say, "Oh, I want to watch in the movie in the theater. It was amazing." That makes me so happy because from 17 years old girl, it's very fantastic hear that. But so we will see how the cinema will alive. I
Right.
mean, now is the time, not very good time for also for the scene. I mean, said Chinese New Year, but before Chinese New Year, so it wasn't so.
That's exactly what I want to also
Yeah.
ask Caroline. I mean,
Yeah.
just from your personal experiences, China's economy, when we talk about a big question, is going through a transformation right now.
Yeah.
So TV and movie industry, micro drama, they are all trying to seek some wonderful opportunities. How much do you see that transformation is already taking place? Is the Spring Festival box office record in any way reflect this transformation?
I think we just noticed the number and the short drama and equal to the cinema box. Yeah, there. So that's I think they cannot be changed. It's a trend. Yeah.
Everything changed.
For me,
Yeah,
I
sure.
fancy cinema movie.
Yeah,
I will
of
go to the
course.
cinema to see the movie. That's for my personal interesting. But I think for the business model, we cannot change that and or stop that. Stop that. We're gonna to how to say accept it. So that's why we just established, set up Hengdian International Macro Short Dramas Alliance last year. So we want to provide out fully support for the whole industry, from the talent management and trainings and the technology upgrading, and as well as the law aspect to fully support the whole industry.
Is the ecosystem different very much from that of movie productions, or actually there are so many similarities?
I think it's a big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I agree.
So that means a lot of adjustments for you guys.
Yeah, so we need to figure out how can we just support this new model better. Yeah, because that's the responsibility for Hengdian to support that.
Right.
Yeah.
What are the biggest difference do you see?
And I think the cost. The
Cost,
cinema and the
preparations.
TV series
Sure.
is a big budget. Yeah.
Just look at the Qin Palace
Yeah.
that is being built in Hengdian just to make sure some of the blockbusters, for example, The Emperor and the Assassin, and also The Promise, can be made. That's big investment.
Sure.
But these micro dramas, they are just a few hundred kuai
Right.
an
Yeah.
episode, right?
Yeah, episode.
1 minute or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very different. That means a whole adjustments of your production and also of your business model in a way.
Yeah, sure. It's a big challenge.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, I
so
believe
we need
that.
to figure out a way to support them to make the production more efficiency.
Yeah.
So that's the key point.
The
Most
editing.
of the time is the time. Those kind of miniseries have been shot in 1 week, or
Yes.
and all set should be there in the same studios. Of course, it's different, you know. Not only budget, many things is different, you know.
Sure.
Also for actor is big challenge because for sure you have the script, you have to memorize it so quickly. Yeah, of course, episode is short, doesn't have so long dialogues, but doesn't matter. So it means it's completely different than
Okay.
a movie. Completely
Different mentalities.
different. Totally.
Very
Yeah, sure,
different
sure.
speed in terms of
Yes.
even post-production.
Yeah, for
And the
sure.
promotions of it also on very different genres.
Sure.
Yeah. And the editings has changed a lot, shorter with rhythm for the phones, for these new
Indeed.
Yes.
But martial arts movies and productions are still very popular, including many being shot here, Hairline. Earlier, my friend Olivier tried to ask whether Jackie Chan is here,
Yes.
I'm
or
a
Jet
fan.
Li is here, or
Big fan.
So, how are those traditionally related to China kinds of movie and TV productions, such as martial arts ones, are they still the big components of the overall productions?
It's a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
That is sorry.
All right.
No, I just want to say that the TV co-production with cinema is maybe in Italy too. In France, it's a big thing, very important. The cinema is working hand by hand, hand on hand with the TV, because TV has an obligation to produce or co-produce with movies. That is not the case in China. No, it's not totally the same thing. It's an obligation, a legal obligation in the French industry to help the movies with the co-production of TVs. And without that, it's so complicated. I don't know if it's the same thing in Italy, but it's a legal obligation in French.
There are nurturing policies in China
To save that, to save the industry of cinema, the TVs must put money, and after that they broadcast the movies, etc. Without this help,
there are sets of policies, I think, in China, as all of you know, for movie productions. For example, show the China-made movies during the Spring Festival holiday season. Well, there are no other foreign productions being shown. Of course, it's also an issue of competition, right? And also, at the same time, nurture the young movie talents, as we mentioned already earlier, and many other issues. For example, providing more funding for some of the small and micro-sized film studios. Song, did I cover some of those?
Yeah, I think some of the film festivals in China also have some foundations and fundings for young filmmakers.
I think we covered that. Oliver, you need to listen to our conversation.
Yeah.
But having said that, I really want to ask about the, the martial arts and the special effects.
Point,
The reason I asked that, Caroline, is because we look at the Ne Zha 2. Not only it is a cartoon production, but it's a cartoon production that's incorporating some of the latest technologies.
Yes.
And we see the whole team, the famous story is that they have been putting 5 years into the overall production and also the filming. So we see also budding post-production basis, similar to this one, maybe smaller one, but competing with you all over the country. So how do you and all of you see this interesting phenomenon, the new technologies being incorporated into the post-production, and there are ever more budding production bases all over China? For example, the one that's related to Ne Zha 2 is pretty much based in Chengdu. Well, here is another vibrant one in Hengdian. We see other, localities try to bring out their best into the movie making industry as well. I don't know whether you have noticed some of those latest trends.
I think this is a very good opportunity to create new talent.
Sure.
In different kind of course, also martial art is a part of the culture of this country, and it's good to mix the how to say, to mix this in the movie and this in the drama with the martial art, something like that. This is what it can be more impressive to me about this movie.
I think competition is a good thing.
Yes, also.
It
Always.
pushes
Always.
the industry to grow, embracing new technologies, telling compelling stories with universal appeal, and strengthen global collaborations will keep Chinese filmmakers stay ahead.
Sure.
So the key is not just competing, but expanding Chinese cinema's influence worldwide through these young people. That's the future.
We trust on you.
Yeah, that's the future.
I'm from
Okay,
Italy,
that's
but
great.
also a Chinese
Right.
movie.
I feel
I also
pressure.
study Chinese movie. Yeah, of
That's
course.
a good thing.
Of
yeah.
course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. So
This is
but
what I really love to do. Yes, is mix the culture. This is the my goal for my movies.
in terms of technology,
Yes, so everything, Sure, of course. Why not? Yeah, exchange idea, grow up together. This is the most important thing.
right?
Yeah.
So
And maybe also to share and to shake Chinese actors and foreign actors.
course.
That is
Of
very
course.
important to
Of course.
seduce the foreign public in everywhere in the world. To share more, I think in the co-production we must have that, because if it is only an Occidental movie in China, they like it, people, yes, but that's staying an Occidental movie. The same thing for the Chinese movie
there will be
in
more
Europe.
people-to-people exchanges that's
Exactly.
needed in
More
the
If
movie
we see
industry.
more
international.
actors, international
Yeah.
actors,
Sure.
the public is largest.
So we have already seen that for decades, right? Even mentioned the Last Emperor, the movie itself.
Yes,
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
a joint production of several countries.
Yes.
It is
Absolutely.
also incorporating actors and actresses coming not just from China
Of course,
originally,
for sure.
but also from
You see the
very different
result?
parts of the world.
9 Oscars.
Right,
Movie won.
exactly.
That's the best
exactly.
example,
But
absolutely.
the question is, what kinds of joint production we need today? Because today's China is certainly very different from the time when The Last Emperor was
Yeah,
filmed,
sure, of
right?
course.
Certainly the market is different, the size is different. The styles and also the aesthetics are very different. So how the movie would not only appeal to the international audience, but really go to the hearts of the Chinese audience. That's the key of the joint production these days, I guess. Did you figure it out, my friend?
I think it's, as I told you before, story is the most important
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
I think the story is what make the audience see it, and make the audience very interesting to keep going watching this movie, or to promote the movie to the friend, and the friend is the best advertising, because go home and tell a friend. So this movie was amazing, so go to watching this movie. I cried, but it was amazing. That
Yeah.
make me really, because you know, sometimes people talking about watching movies means spend the time to maybe don't think about the life, just disconnecting the life and enjoy the movie. But most of the time, those movies are drama and people cry, but still happy to watch it.
Sure,
Song, do you have any input on this?
Yes, I think we can focus on the content. Don't worry about what kind of the method we're going to show on screen or on our phone or through the streaming service.
Sure,
We
of
need to
course.
focus on the content. Like we need to tell a good story, compelling story, character-driven stories, and also for Chinese audience, maybe with some Chinese culture within, so we can reach out to broader audiences.
So we are having a great celebration of the box office record for this year's Spring Festival. The
Yeah.
question is, with that already on the history, what can be done for the next stage, right? I guess a lot of movie producers
Yeah.
and also movie professionals like you guys are already thinking about that. Caroline, do you have anything to say about that? You know, for the rest of the year, it's going to be really, really, shall I say, we have to work our mind.
I think we need to set up a new goal. As it's the new area for Chinese culture to go outside. So Chinese mythology and history are full of great stories that can go globally.
Sure.
That's I believe in. The key is to focus on the universal emotions, courage, love, destiny, while staying true to cultural roots. Films like Ne Zha, we mentioned about, succeed, I think, not just because of their Chinese identity, but because they tell powerful, relatable stories in a fresh and engaging way. So by blending authentic cultural elements with strong storytelling and modern filmmaking techniques, Chinese film can connect with the audiences worldwide without losing our own character. I think it's a new goal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Keep the culture.
Yeah.
Keep the culture
That's
very,
emphasis on
yeah,
it.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very important.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe that.
Olivier?
The good thing we can think is, like good food, cinema will never die, and society is changing, evolving, but cinema will stay a base of our culture, of happiness, or development, or sharing feelings, and that is very, very nice to feel it. Cinema will never die. The evolution is an evidence. We live that, but it will never die.
Nobody's saying it's dying. It's already very vibrant.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
saying,
no,
what is
but
next? Right?
Something
What is
in
the
our
best goal?
society, something are less than before or are in danger, not cinema.
Right. Maybe it's an easier question for you to tell us, Olivier, what kind of movies you think the Chinese can watch coming from your home country, from France? Yeah. Or what kind of movies you want to bring from here to your homeland and to show it to your folks?
As we said before, love story with adventure, with suspense, and historic also moments, etc. We want more and more to share our feelings, and to share also that the past, the present, the future. And I think to seduce foreign people, as I said before, you must shake that with different
Yes, of
actors from different nationalities.
Look
that is very
for
important.
Olivier next time.
And I
All
am
the film
available.
producers.
I am available.
Okay, I got the conclusion for you. And what about for you?
For sure.
What kind of movies do you think or stories you want to bring from your country and the other way around, from China to your home turf?
Live sample.
Oh,
Learn
yeah.
from the live sample. Learn from people, what happened to people.
Yeah.
How to respect each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And how to create something together.
yeah.
I think that is the most important thing, because otherwise, you know, for me, the best thing is sharing ideas. I think is the most amazing thing. And of course, love for me is the most strong.
I
Yeah.
understand there is a new trend in China to produce movies about very ordinary people's ordinary lives.
Yes, of course.
Every ordinary life
Yes.
actually celebrated exhilarating stories of their own.
It's a sample to
Yeah.
follow. It's a sample
Yeah.
to share with other people. I watch this movie, I learn from this movie. I see something. I'm agree, I'm not agree, but something this movie can teach me something.
Yeah.
That is the most important.
Especially when you are living in China, there are so many scenes in the movie that you can relate to the life here and the
Yes,
life
of
that you are
course.
having here.
Sure.
And I remember, you know, the past decades of movies coming from all over the world into China. As a movie watcher, we got exposure to so many different cultures that eventually when we travel to that country, we were thinking, this looks like one of those scenes I saw
Yes.
in the movie a long time ago.
See?
And
Sharing
suddenly
kind
that
of-
place becomes so dear to our heart. You know, when we were watching that movie in the theater, a movie coming from France or Italy
Whatever,
or elsewhere,
doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't
we
matter.
sometimes
whatever.
have friends and families around.
It doesn't matter.
So the memories came back as well about not just the movie scenes, but also the time, frozen in a way, when we were together with
Sure.
our families, with our friends,
Exactly.
and the kind of life we had then. So movie is not an art just of its own,
Of course,
but
no,
also of the beholder in a way.
Sure.
That's what I think about movies.
Absolutely,
Totally
absolutely.
agree with you.
In this world of violence, it's very important to promote the
Sure.
highest value of love,
So,
friendship, family.
So
Hope.
when I think about you, you study in University of Southern California. That's a well-known institution for movie makers, especially young ones. And you went to another culture, come back to your home culture. There's a lot of things in the movies, I'm sure, you watched that tells you about the life here that you have missed. For example, during those years while you are studying abroad, right?
Yeah.
Or there are things that you have noticed that you want to introduce to your friends, whether they are in the U.S. or elsewhere. So how much do you think movie can serve that role at a time of turbulence, as Olivia just mentioned?
Oh yeah, I think films are very personal media,
Very
very
personal,
personal
yeah.
media. So it gives you, it can extend your life experience by watching films. Like the years I wasn't in China, I can watch movies produced from China, so I can know what's going on in China. And also right now I'm not in America, or I'm not in other countries. I can watch films from other countries, so I can know what their lifestyle, what they are doing right now. So I think film is a good media for people to learn from each other.
Sure.
Yeah.
But here comes the thing. China's market is so huge these days. Everybody wants to have a piece of it, and rightly so, right? Once there are good movies. But so how do you see China's market vis-a-vis the rest of the world? At this time, the Naja 2,
Vis-à-vis French world. Thank you. Vis-à-vis, it's French. Sorry.
well, why don't our French
No,
friends
vis-à-vis,
go first?
vis-à-vis,
yeah.
vis-à-vis.
Please,
Vis-à-vis, it's
it's a
in
French
front
word.
of, yeah.
c'est en France.
En français.
Yeah, en français. But how do you see that? From
Sorry?
Chinese market, the
Yeah.
French market, you know, what Spring Festival box office have shown to us, the potential of China's box office and the potential of Chinese market. What does that mean for Chinese film producers and other film producers?
What a question.
Oh, okay. Wow, need time to think.
I have a question,
Song?
if I can,
Yeah.
to you,
But can
Mr.
you-
Sino-American guy.
Yeah.
What did you learn in Hollywood about your work? What did you learn?
Hollywood. My professor, most importantly, just tell the story
He's
you
a
want to
student
tell.
when he was
Tell,
young.
tell the story you want to tell. That's the most authentic story.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the technology. Just
Yeah.
tell the story you want to tell.
It
Yeah.
was a very good experience for you, I think.
Yeah, just be yourself, be personal.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caroline, what do you think? With the record already being made during China Spring Festival this year, what does the China market mean for everybody? You know, for you, for your colleagues here, for many filmmakers and studios in China, and many ones all over the world.
I think this Spring Festival box office make our more confident. It's set up a channel for Chinese culture can go outside, go globally. So that's why we're gonna welcome all the international overseas visitors come to China. You know, we talk about movie, right? So many Chinese culture you can see on the screen, even for the international audiences, right? But come to Hengdian, you can feel it. Yeah, you can just walk into the
The story.
the story, yeah, in the China history,
You
only in
integrate
3 days.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think also something is very important.
All right.
By the cinema, we can promote a better
That's exactly
today.
what we're doing right now,
Right.
already for an hour.
Absolutely. We totally agree about that.
Yeah.
A better
Sure, of
understanding
course,
of China.
yeah.
I totally agree. You know, I think it's you know the China market is big for everything. I mean, for a movie you can teach, you can show culture, many things together. You can keep the industry alive. Yes, many things. You know. So thanks for those kind of. I mean, those kind of. I think this Chinese New Year can make very good income for many companies
Right.
involved in the industry, you know, and that is amazing because this is the power for do next better and better and better, of course.
Not
you
to
know.
mention theme parks like this that Caroline just mentioned, not just this one, but
Yeah.
also many others in China.
Yeah.
We see the Universal Studios coming from the U.S. We also see local, you know, production bases like this opening to tourists. Actually, they're just around us, right behind the cameras.
Yeah.
I want to wave to them, but anyway, they're just. It's such a wonderful opportunity for everybody to feel they're part of the movies. They're part of an exciting production. So before we go, we are running out of time. Tell us, as a movie producer and as a fan of movies, what do you like to see for the rest of the year? And what are you going to work on? Just to give us a preview.
Oh.
Coming from you first. Let's go this way, okay? Yeah.
Okay, so for me, what I see from the future is I want to see, I want to start producing my movie, and so working also cooperate with production here and bring my experience to help this industry to grow.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
And good luck. Olivier?
Thank you.
I hope to play more in movies. Yeah, sure, and contribute to a better understanding of China, as I said, and co-production with with French-speaking countries.
Wonderful.
I
Thank you so
want
much.
that.
All right.
And you,
And
sweet
Caroline?
Caroline.
Sweet Caroline. You know that song.
I
Yeah.
have this song in my head when I meet you.
Right.
Okay.
Caroline, please.
I'm gonna welcome all the international
Thank
guests
you.
audience
Yeah.
come to Hengdian. If you want to feel the Chinese culture, so come to Hengdian. That's where your first choice. You can go through 5,000 years of
Yes.
Chinese only in 3 days.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's-
that's
yeah,
charming.
yeah,
right?
Wow, that's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna make a feature film in China based on my personal experience and the family stories.
Yeah.
And also, I'm gonna be seeking the opportunity in making some mini short series. Yeah, that's
Wonderful.
the trend. Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
forward
Yeah.
to all the great results coming from your plan. And let's gather together once again in the near future to see how things are moving on from there. Okay?
Thank you.
So thank
Wait.
you so much, every one of
Thank
you,
you.
for joining us. And thank you for this
Thank
beautiful
you for
corner of
opportunity.
Hengdian.
Yeah.
We are in the
Amazing.
China's
Thank you very
Hollywood.
much. Yeah, thank
It's
you.
not Hollywood, but China's.
Yes.
And that's all the time we have
Hengdian.
for this special production here in Hengdian. I'm Tian Wei on behalf of the team. Thanks for being with us. Bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we can go and have some fun, right?